Hello everyone, my name is Xingping. Today, my presentation topic is what kind of food you eat may affect how you feel. This presentation focuses on the relationship between diet, mood, emotional state, and depression risk. In daily life, people usually think food is only connected to physical health, such as body weight, energy, or disease prevention. However, food may also be connected to how we feel mentally and emotionally. The main idea of my presentation is that food doesn't completely determine a person's mental health, but it may be one important factor that influences emotional balance. Here is the question: can food really affect mood? Food is an energy source for body. It gives us calories, nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. These are important for physical health. However, food may also be connected to emotional state, stress, sleep, and mental health. For example, when people feel stressed, they may want to eat sweet food, snacks, or fast food. This food may give short-term comfort, but if they become a long-term eating pattern, they may not support emotional health. At the same time, people who eat more balanced meals may have more stable energy during the day. This may also help with mood and stress. So, food and emotion can affect each other. Mood can influence food choices, and food choices may also influence mood. The first study I want to discuss is about the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet includes vegetables, fruits, fish, olive oil, and whole grains. It is usually considered a healthy dietary pattern because it contains many natural and nutrient rich foods. Sanchez Villegas studied whether people who followed a Mediterranean dietary pattern more closely had a lower risk of depression. This was a prospective human cohort study, which means researchers followed people over time and observed their diet and depression outcomes. The study found that higher adherence to the Mediterranean diet was associated with a lower incidence of depression. This finding is important because it suggests that an overall healthy dietary pattern may support mental health. It doesn't mean that eating vegetable or fish once will prevent depression. Instead, it shows some long-term eating habit may be related to emotional well-being. And the second study focuses on ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are very common in modern life. They include fast food, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, instant meals, and many food high in sugar, fat, salt, or additives. Algebait examined whether higher ultra-processed food consumption was associated with later depressive symptoms. This was also a prospective human cohort study, so the researchers looked at the people's food intake and followed them over time. The study found that greater ultra-processed food consumption was positively associated with the risk of developing depression symptoms. This, this is almost the opposite of the Mediterranean diet study. The Mediterranean, the Mediterranean diet was linked to lower depression risk, while ultra-processed food were linked to higher depressive symptoms. However, it is important to say this carefully. This doesn't mean one soda or one bag of chips directly causes depression. The point is that if ultra processed food become a major part of someone's daily diet, they may increase risk for both physical and emotional health. The third study is about food, gut microbiota, and behavior. Gut microbiota means the microorganisms living in our digestive system. In recent years, researchers have become more interested in gut brain connection. The gut and the brain can communicate through nerves, hormones, immune responses, and chemical signal. And Pine Jorgensen studied whether different diets could change gut microbiota and behavior in mice. In this study, mice were fed diet higher in saturated fat and sucrose. The study altered gut microbiota and was associated with behavior changes related to depression-like symptoms. This study is different from first two because it is an animal study, not human study, so we cannot directly say the same result must happen in humans, but it is still useful because it gives a positive biological explanation. It suggests that food may affect mood partly through changes in the gut microbiota and the gut and brain connection. And this slide summarizes how food may affect mood. A healthy dietary pattern may help lower inflammation, keep blood sugar more stable, support healthier gut microbiota, and improve emotional balance. Foods such as vegetables, fruits, fish, olive oil, and whole grains provide nutrition that helps the body function more smoothly. On the other hand, ultra-processed food may lead to blood sugar fluctuation, higher inflammation, gut microbiota changes, and higher risk of depressive symptoms. These foods may give quick energy or short-term comfort, but they may not support long-term mental health if eaten too often. So the relationship between food and mood may happen through several pathways, and it is not just about calories. Food can influence body systems, and those body systems may influence the brain and emotions. In conclusion, food doesn't directly determine a person's mental health. Mental health is complex and can be affected by sleep, stress, exercise, social relationships, genetics, and life experiences. However, the evidence suggests that diet may still play an important role in emotional balance. Healthy dietary patterns such as the Mediterranean diet may be linked to lower depression risk. In contrast, ultra-processed food may be linked to higher depressive symptoms. The most important message is balance. People do not need to eat perfectly all the time, but understanding the connection between food and mood can help people make better daily choices. By choosing more natural and nutrition rich food and reducing highly processed food, people may support both physical and mental health. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope this video helps you understand that food is not only connected to physical health, but may also be connected to mood, stress, and mental health. And diet is not the only answer to emotional problems, but it can be the one meaningful part of healthier lifestyle. Thank you.